Roy. How are you?
I'm great, thank you, and thank you so much for taking our call with our viewers here on Candid News.
Of course, no problem.
Congresswoman, could you? I know we discussed this when we were on the phone earlier. Could you tell us what you know so far regarding the rumored meeting or the request for a meeting by Governor Ralph Torres with the majority party in the House and the Senate of the CNMI legislature?
I really, as I mentioned to you prior, I really don't know very much about it. I can tell you that the members of the minority have not been invited to any such meeting, and that we have reached out to our colleagues on the majority side, but have yet to confirm that there is in fact a meeting happening. It's been pretty quiet up here at the legislature, so that's really all I can say at this point.
Thank you, Congresswoman. What is the political environment like right now with regard to all of these allegations of public corruption by Governor Torres and his family?
Well, as you can probably imagine, there's a real sense of turmoil and uncertainty, and and some relief, I would say, from some quarters among concerned citizens who have been asking questions about the government and the relationship that some officials have had or appear to have had with the casino and casino executives. It's really very early on in the process. I think my sense is that quite a few people are really just waiting at this point to see how things unfold and what additional information will come to light if there will be an indictment, and what the charges ultimately will look like if we come to that. It is really a bit early at this point to say. I can also tell you that I, as well as my colleagues up in the legislature, are being pressured on all sides to issue a statement about impeachment or opening up an inquiry and what we should do going forward on the legislative side, which would be, of course, a separate process from any criminal proceeding.
Is impeachment under consideration in the House of Representatives?
At this point, there hasn't been any action. I have gone on the record to say that I do believe that we have enough cause to open up our own inquiry on the House side,
Okay.
but nobody else has gone on the record yet to say that. On the minority side, we are planning to have a meeting very soon. A number of us were off island this last week, and when everybody is back on island, hopefully this week, we do agree that this is important, and we just need to all get together in the same room to discuss our position as a minority about how we move forward.
You mentioned a bit earlier about a sense of relief in some quarters in the CNMI. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that sense of relief may be?
Well, sure. It's not a secret, and it's certainly all over social media. People have been uneasy, and there has been lots of speculation, but then also just information about the very close relationship between certain local politicians and the casinos since even before the Stipend Casino Act was enacted. And so, it's been a very common refrain that I've heard, like, where are the feds? What's going on? Is there an investigation? Does the rule of law even mean anything in the CNMI? And, the feds have been very quiet about any sort of investigation that's been ongoing, but I think it would be naive for anybody to think that the raids don't point to very significant probable cause, and they wouldn't do something like this at this level of government without having ample probable cause. I think we can all reasonably assume that.
So, Congresswoman, you mentioned that you have gone on the record publicly to state that there is enough here for the House to start up some sort of inquiry regarding the governor's, regarding this whole thing. about Governor Torres's involvement with the casinos and the possibility of illegal or wrongdoing on his part. Do you believe that that is a sentiment shared by the majority of the people of the CNMI?
I think that it would be our duty, our constitutional duty, to tackle this head on and to, at a minimum, open up our own independent legislative inquiry. It's, we are talking about allegations of corruption, commissions of felonies, and also neglect of duty, and these are all impeachable offenses. At a minimum, I think that we have a responsibility as legislators, as the second branch of government, to look into these issues, and not leave it to the FBI and the U.S. Department of Justice to do their work and only focus on the criminal elements that may be involved. The legislative process is an entirely different process, and we have the responsibility and the power to do just that and open up the inquiry and begin to ask the hard questions that our constituents are asking and demanding.
So then do you believe that the CNMI legislature has an opportunity to help to restore some public trust in their government if the CNMI legislature takes up its duty in this case?
Yes, I think that is a really important part of this process. There is, no matter how you look at it, there has been a serious blow to public trust and confidence in our government. That's something that we should all take very seriously. And I think people are looking to us to show that there are checks and balances in this government, and nobody is above the law. And and that as legislators, we take our constitutional responsibilities seriously. So I think that we have cause to open up an inquiry, not solely focused on just whatever may come to light in the federal investigation, but for months now, the minority has been calling for oversight and for the legislative investigation into the finances and the management of our government's finances, which would have been an inquiry, no matter how you look at it, into the decisions of this administration. And this is really consistent with that, and I think it should be an important part too of any inquiry going forward.
Congresswoman, I'm getting messages from citizens here on Guam asking if you can move to Guam and run for the Guam legislature.
Well, thanks to the concerned citizens who are messaging you with that. I think I have my hands pretty full just right here in the
Well, it sure seems that way. Is there anything you would like to add to this, Congresswoman, for all our listeners?
Well, I actually just want to thank you, Kandit News. I just heard about your online news outlet very recently, and I feel like everything that you post goes viral, and I get things forwarded to me all the time.
Well, awesome.